Hello. Today I'm going to be reading From Tadpole to Frog by Sunita Apte, or Apte. Here's our table of contents. So there's 7 chapters and a glossary. Chapter 1, Frog Spring. Spring has come. The frogs are in the pond. Can you hear them croaking? Frogs love water. They often live in or near ponds, rivers, and marshes. You can find them all over the world except in Antarctica and the South Pole. It is too cold for frogs to live there. Spring is when most frogs have babies. Frog babies are called tadpoles. At first, tadpoles do not look like frogs. They look more like funny fish with tails. Slowly, the tadpoles grow and change into frogs. So you can see them there. They look like little fish with weird tails. When I was a kid, I used to like to try to catch them. Chapter 2, Eggs Everywhere. First, the female frogs have to lay eggs. The eggs look like black dots inside clear jelly. The jelly helps keep the eggs safe. One female frog can lay as many as 4,000 eggs. Big groups of eggs and jelly are known as frog spawn. So right there would be a frog spawn. Inside the frog spawn is food for the growing babies to eat. Slowly, the black dots turn into tadpoles. The tiny tadpoles are ready to hatch after about 10 days. Not all the eggs hatch. A lot get eaten. Frog spawn is a favorite food for many animals. Only about half of 4,000 eggs will hatch. So 4,000 eggs, so half of that would be 2,000. That's still quite a bit, but. Chapter 3, Tadpole Time. Hundreds of tadpoles hatch from frog spawn. They wriggle through the jelly for the first week or two. They do not move much. Then they begin to swim around. They feed on algae and other things. The tadpoles will not leave the pond until they are fully grown frogs. Frogs live in water and on land, but tadpoles live only in water. Frogs have lungs, so they breathe in the air. The tadpoles have gills, so they breathe underwater. Chapter 4, Teeth and Legs. After about 4 weeks, tadpoles grow tiny teeth. These teeth help them eat more kinds of foods. Their gills also begin to get covered over with skin. Lungs begin to form. Soon the tadpoles will not be able to breathe underwater. About 6 weeks, tadpoles begin to grow back legs. They use their new legs to help them swim. Their tails get smaller and their bodies and heads grow bigger. So you can see right there, see his little legs? That looks weird. Chapter 5, Froglets. A few weeks later, the tadpole's front legs begin to grow. Their gills get covered over, their lungs are now fully formed. They can no longer breathe underwater. Now the tadpoles must swim to the surface of the pond to breathe air. So yeah, there they are. But yeah, I'm guessing that they have to come up for air, but they can probably hold their breath for a long time, I'm guessing. The tadpoles have become froglets, or young frogs. All that is left of their tadpole self is a tiny bit of a tail, right there. Chapter 6, A Frog's Life Cycle. So yeah, you can see here is the egg, and there's where it grows a little bit, there's where it hatches, where it starts to grow back legs, and then boom. It takes 3 to 4 months for tadpoles to turn into frogs. But many tadpoles do not survive. Fish, birds, and other animals eat them. Those that do live have gone through a big change. They once had to breathe water like a fish. Now there are frogs that breathe air. Their life cycle from tadpole to frog is very special. The newly grown frogs can now leave the pond. They will live mostly on land, but they will return to the pond next spring to make tadpoles on their own. The life cycle goes on. Chapter 7, Fun Frog Facts. Try to say that 3 times fast. Some frogs lay their eggs on the back of leaves that hang over water. When the eggs hatch, the tadpoles drop into the water below. Wood frogs that live in the Arctic freeze up in the winter. Their brains and hearts stop working. They stay frozen until the weather gets warmer. Then they thaw out. I've also heard about this with fish that'll right in midstream, they will freeze and they basically go into a stasis. So let's look at some of the terms here. We got algae, Arctic. So remember, algae is something that sometimes frogs will eat. They'll eat that algae, they'll eat little bugs. Arctic, so yeah, no frogs in the Arctic. They can live up there. But yeah, they will freeze there, remember. Froglet, that's the one with a little bit of a tail. Frog spawn, that's like all the eggs. Gills, so first they use gills, and it says hatch, just like chicken hatches, they hatch out of eggs. Life cycle, so that's just where they grow and live and die and have babies and all that. Lungs, body parts used for breathing in humans and other animals. And tadpole, young frog. So that's the end. Thank you for watching.